What's going on, Superman fans? This is my review for Superman Lois, episode 8, titled Holding the Wrench. This season has been top notch. It feels like a mature take on Superman, something that I really like. The other CW shows are enjoyable, they have their fan base, but they're a little bit cheesy. This show is more serious. I think the characters are more interesting, the side stories are interesting, the story dynamics, the twists, the budget, everything is just a lot better with this show. And I've been enjoying it week to week. I've been counting down the days for the next episode. That's how much I love this show so much. And I think Tyler Hoechlin is amazing as Superman. I always said, even when he was on Supergirl, that guy can be a great Superman with the right material. And finally, he has it. And it's Superman and Lois, thank God. But last week's episode was pretty good as well, because we got some background information on this Captain Luthor mysterious character. We knew that he comes from a different Earth, and his Earth, Superman went rogue, he went evil, he killed everybody, so he comes to this Earth in fear of the same thing happening to stop this Earth's Superman, Tyler Hoechlin, Clark Kent, Superman. But last week we got to find out his real name, which was John Henry Irons, and comic book fans were going insane because that means that it's steel from the comic books, which is basically a Superman but made of steel. Pretty awesome as well. But even a bigger shock was finding out that on his Earth, his wife is Lois Lane, of course, on his Earth, but also Black Suit Superman, evil Superman, killed his wife. So that's what drives his motivation to come to this Earth, to kill Superman. And also, he had to leave behind his daughter on the other Earth because he wants to come to this Earth. So he's alone, and that's what drives him as a character, is to kill Superman, because he thinks the exact same thing is going to happen. And last week he was this close to killing Superman, but of course Clark Kent's sons Jonathan and Jordan come to the rescue and are able to stop him. So this week he's in the military prison, John Henry Irons. And you've got, Sam Lane and Superman coming up with a plan to try and get more information out of him. You've got Lois Lane, who throughout the episode is in therapy over something that she's not too proud of. We get to see it later in the episode, but she kind of loses her temper. You've got Sarah Cushing as well. She has her own kind of small story where she's trying to overcome her fear of singing in front of large crowds or by herself and stuff like that. So she's trying to try out for one of the talent shows or a musical or something like that. So yeah, she gets the bond with her father there, which was pretty cool and nice to see. And she actually has a pretty good voice. We get to see that later on in the episode. But yeah, so we got John Henry Irons. He's in the prison, and Superman is there overlooking everything that's going on there. And you got the RV that's owned by John Henry Irons, which he has all of his weapons and his intel, and his AI is there as well. So back at the Kent farm, you've got Lois Lane and you've got Jonathan, and they're kind of investigating in there, trying to figure out who this guy really is. And when they're kind of researching and going through the John Henry Irons computer, they find out that Lois Lane and him were married on his planet and they had a daughter. Now, interesting enough, we get to find out in this episode that Clark Kent and Lois Lane from the main Earth had a baby. Well, Lois was pregnant and, it didn't go right and the baby never was born and they lost the child, which is pretty sad. So it kind of is emotional for Lois Lane to kind of look at these pictures of her on a different Earth with John Henry Irons, not only as her husband, but also the daughter that she was going to have on this Earth was born in the other Earth. So that was pretty emotional, with the exact same name as well. So, Lois Lane, she's kind of driven to a point where she's like, this is pretty hard stuff, and she loses her temper. And the reason she loses her temper is because Jonathan goes into the RV without her permission and is trying to find out more stuff. And he actually finds a video that shows what we got to see last week, where Superman, Black Suit Superman on the other Earth, killed his mother, Lois Lane. And he's kind of taken aback by that. But the AI doesn't detect Jonathan in the RV. The AI detects John Henry Irons and Lois Lane, of course, because Lois Lane existed on the other Earth. But the AI doesn't detect Jonathan. So the AI kind of closes down the RV and is about to kill Jonathan, and he's screaming for his mother, and Lois Lane finally comes, but she can't get him because it's all boarded down, and she calls Superman. Superman only gets there with about a second left before his son's about to die from the AI kind of the guns and the shooting and stuff like that. So they go inside and Lois Lane just absolutely unleashes it onto Jonathan. I felt bad for him. Nobody likes being given out by their mother, that can be a scary thing. But you can understand why she was upset, but she went a little bit too far and her anger got the best of her. And that's when Clark goes, maybe you went too far there. Maybe you should talk to somebody if you're feeling all these emotions. This can't be easy on you and stuff. So that's why she was in therapy. And look, it is tough because she lost a child and her child basically exists on this other earth. You know, she nearly lost her son because she wasn't able to do anything about it. And she kind of blames herself for the baby not being produced the first time and stuff like that. So it's pretty sad. You know, it is pretty sad. And then you're back at the military base. Superman is trying to find out information from John Henry Irons. John Henry just wants to talk to Lois Lane, but he does tell Superman that on my earth, I was married to Lois Lane, you know, and you killed her. And Superman's kind of shocked at this, and John Henry Irons is like, you don't think you'll turn on the people of Earth, but you will. You know, you will be the leader of this Kryptonian army, because you will stand by your own people. And Superman's kind of thinking to himself, I would never do anything like that. And you're kind of thinking to yourself, I don't see Tyler Hoechlin Superman doing this, but then again, on the other Earth, he was doing it. So, you know, it is an interesting dilemma, big time. And John Henry Irons is right, because on this Earth, Morgan Edge is building his own Kryptonian army. So, like, all the dots are lining up here for Superman to go rogue. And, you know, Captain Luthor, I call him Captain Luthor, but John Henry Irons might have been right. Maybe he should have killed Superman, you know. So it's interesting that way. Not too much going on with Jordan in this episode. He, of course, has his father's powers, but he didn't really have much to do, to be honest. He kind of crushes on Sarah as well. And he actually helps her when she's doing her act, to sing the song. Her father doesn't show up, so he ends up playing the piano for her. And she's a pretty good singer, pretty awesome stuff. But kind of, yeah. So I actually like this episode in terms of, it was cool to see a different side of Kyle Cushing, you know, Lana Lane's husband, Sarah's father, because he was off work, so he was helping his daughter kind of prepare for the musical, for her son. He plays the guitar, and he was supposed to show up, you know, at the school for her, but never did, because he went to go see his wife, Lana Lane, who of course is working for Morgan Edge, and she's also kind of undercover for Lois Lane as well, because they both don't trust Morgan Edge as well, and rightly so. But basically, he's kind of a little bit pissed off because, you know, he was kind of always kind of buddies with Morgan Edge. He was always kind of around him, so he thought he would get a promotion, maybe working for him and stuff like that, but his wife got it. So there's a little bit kind of resentment there, kind of. And, you know, Lana Lang kind of lied to him, saying that, oh, there's no positions, or Morgan Edge didn't tell me to offer you a position at the workplace or anything like that. And Kyle believes her, but then he finds out that she was lying because Leslie Lar kind of spills the beans about that. So Kyle's a bit pissed off at that. His wife's being a little bit more successful than him right now, and she lied to him and stuff like that. So he doesn't show up for his daughter Sarah. That's why Jordan has to play the piano for her. Back at the military base, they're trying to find out more information from John Henry Irons. And one of the military guards is actually a Kryptonian soldier, has Kryptonian powers. So we got to see this a few episodes ago where Morgan Edge is recruiting people, but I don't think the person is fully aware of what they're doing. You know, they're given these Kryptonian powers or cells, and it overtakes them, and they can't really control it at times. We got to see that with Tig Harris as well. His vibration, his kind of speed, he wasn't able to control it all the time. We get to see it in this episode as well, because one of the soldiers tries to help John Henry Irons, you know, because basically John Henry Irons has this motivation to kill Superman. Morgan Edge doesn't really want Superman around either, stuff like that. So he probably sees a good opportunity there to break out John Henry Irons to figure out a way to kill Superman. So yeah, but then Superman comes, and there's a big kind of fight between Superman and this Kryptonian soldier, who actually has a pretty interesting, you know, he uses Kryptonian kind of gas, but he has a mask on, so it doesn't affect him, and Superman's weak. So there's a kind of a cool fight going on there as well. But of course, Superman, you know, is able to overcome it in a way and able to hold him off and fight him. But then again, Superman is on the ground, and it looks like this Kryptonian soldier is about to kill Superman, but John Henry Irons comes in and kills this kryptonite possessed human right in the heart, in the chest, spears him in the chest, which was pretty cool. I don't understand maybe why the Kryptonian soldier wasn't trying to kill Superman. Like, he had the chance maybe to kill him, but decided not to. Maybe Morgan Edge maybe wants him alive. Maybe he thinks he can convert Superman as well. I don't know. But John Henry Irons killed that Kryptonian soldier with a spear as well, which kind of reminded me of Batman v Superman as well, where Ben Affleck's Batman uses a spear, or wanted to use a spear to kill Superman. I thought that was pretty cool. And then John Henry Irons is about to kill the Man of Steel, the Kryptonian god, Superman. He has the chance with a spear, but Lois Lane comes in and is able to talk him out of it, talking about, I know what you're going through. You know, losing a child, losing family. You feel like that you could have did something, but in the end you couldn't. So that was a pretty good scene. And of course, John Henry Irons doesn't kill Superman, because then it wouldn't be a Superman and Lois show. But yeah, you know, pretty good episode. It wasn't the most exciting. It didn't have the most material or anything like that, or twists or shock or anything like that. But it was a solid episode. You know, I think it was. I don't think it was bad or anything. So John Henry Irons is released from the military prison as well, pretty easily as well, and he decides to go off on his own path and do his own thing. So I'm sure we'll see him again. I like him as a character. I'm glad he's not killed off. I'm sure in the end he'll probably end up helping Superman in some capacity, and I think he's a pretty good character, and the actor that plays him is doing a pretty good job as well. But I think Elizabeth Tulloch, who plays Lois Lane in this episode, was the standout. She was a star. Her acting was brilliant, especially with the therapist, with her son. Got some different sides of her as well, kind of anger, compassion, you know, sadness. I think she was definitely the standout for this episode, big time. And the action scene was fine. It wasn't anything amazing, but it was pretty good to watch as well. And Tyler Hoechlin, I just love him as Superman. I really, really do. But looking forward to next week's episode already. I think this season is 15 episodes, so that's pretty awesome as well. Few more episodes to go. Hopefully the quality stays up. If the rest of the episodes for this season can be the same as the last 7-8, then I think we're in for a pretty amazing season for Superman and Lois, and one that I'll probably want to rewatch, because I think there's so much, you know, there's so much good in this series. The characters are interesting, the storylines, even like Sarah Cushing getting ready to sing a song or overcome her fear of being in crowds or singing on her own and stuff like that. Like, that was interesting to see her bond with her father Kyle as well. Every single character has a part to play in this series, which is pretty awesome. So I enjoyed this episode. Not the best, not my favorite of the season, but it was pretty solid. It was okay. It wasn't anything amazing, but it wasn't bad either. So that's okay. You know, so where do we go next week? Morgan Edge needs to be taken down, but he's building his own army as well. Don't forget that. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on Superman and Lois episode 8. I enjoyed it. What did you think of it? Give a like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate that as well. And also, guys, my other YouTube channel, Real Talk Live. We're live tonight. So the link will be in the description for that. We go live maybe twice a week, just talking about all the latest movie, TV news, TV reviews, movie reviews, stuff like that live. You guys can comment as well. It comes up on the screen. It's a pretty cool show as well. So we'll talk about Superman and Lois too later on. So I would love you to come by while we're live, and I get to hear your comments live as well. Link in the description, so go subscribe to that channel, Real Talk Live. Thank you guys, appreciate it for watching. Have a good day and mind yourself, be kind. And Superman and Lois is brilliant. I love it so much. Tyler Hoechlin has the potential to be an unbelievable Superman. Can he reach the heights of Christopher Reeves and Henry Cavill? I think he can if the material stays as good as it has been so far this season. Thank you guys, enjoy.